No one believes my tulpa is God. English class, high school. Be me, senior, 19 years of age. He's so old in school, lol. Shut the fuck up, I failed grade 3 twice. English teacher says today's topic is religion. Some kids are stupid Christian plebs. Others are hipsters who claim to be Buddhist. Then there's me, who fully believes that my tulpa is what we call God. Context. 3 years ago, going on X all day, every day. Loser. Friends stopped hanging out with me because they don't believe in the paranormal. They said I was a weirdo. Whatever. Started reading heavily about tulpas. 2 months later, several attempts conjuring later, I finally met them. They told me they were God, and that I was safe now as long as I did what they said. They ordered me to spread word of them to all mortal men. I've been talking about them to everyone I meet. Over time, no one talks to me anymore. Doesn't faze me. I'm the one going to the haven that is Sumblend. Sumblend is the place they told me good people go after they die. Back to present English Day class. Topic is religion. All the kids blabbering about their bullshit gods. Teacher calls upon me out of pity, as no one is discussing with me. Well, the Blopter, what the god called himself, always told me. Everyone rolls their eyes, even the teacher. I stop talking. Teacher, again out of pity, insists I continue. Well, Blopter said that Sumblend will be a peaceful place for everyone, no matter who. Snickering throughout the classroom. I'm a little pissed. I hate being humiliated. I insist I can summon him for everyone to see. Some fucking douche pig says, "Do it, loser." Everyone laughs. I get up and sit on my desk, crisscross applesauce. Close my eyes. Once I open them, I see Blopter in their true form. I begin talking to them, welcoming them to the classroom. Blopter sits on the vacant seat next to me that my old friend Jeremy used to sit in. He killed himself, that's why no one sits there. What? After the conversation, I give Blopter a hug and we part ways. Look at the classroom. Everyone breaks out laughing. They claim they saw nothing. Everyone starts calling me crazy for talking to thin air for 15 minutes. Pissed shit, angry. Grab this skinny Mormon smallest guy in the class next to me. Start ground pounding him out of anger. Everyone starts breaking out in panic. The Mormon kid is making a scene and shit with his nose bleeding. Kick him with my steel-toed boots. I heard his teeth break. Start screaming at the class about how they're all going to Frompton. Blopter hell. Jock Christian guy runs up and clocks me. I drop like a stone in water. Everyone cheers. The rest of high school I'm called psycho, tulpa freak, and shit like that. I can't handle it anymore. How do I prove that Blopter is a true being? No one ever believes me. You poor, poor man. Let me tell you about the long men of Tawakani anon. Always visit grandma and parents at least once a month. They live out in Lake Tawakani in East Texas. Bumfuck middle of nowhere, pastures and lakes. Lakes are filling up real good this year, by the way, almost 6 feet above average. Me, brother, his girl go camping because tired of family shit. The equivalent of staking a tent in the middle of a barren-ass field because we ain't got no woods out here, son. We all get drunk off our ass and pass out. Wake up early with a hangover. It's about 4:30, going off my phone. Leave tent to go take a piss. See a man walking across the field. No biggie, probably just a hunter. It stops when it sees me. Gives me this really weird-ass wave, as if its entire arm was stiff. Wave back. Guy keeps standing there waving. Crawl back into tent and wake my brother up. Couldn't have been in the tent more than 10 seconds since all I did was give a boot to his side. Step back outside. This motherfucker cleared 600 yards in 10 seconds, standing and waving that stiff-ass arm. Chill runs down my back. Hair stands up on end. Know from previous experience that this shit ain't good. Tell brother to grab his gun. That woke his ass up. He comes out with his rifle. Tell him to aim it at that thing. Thing stops waving. Tell his girlfriend to get in the truck. Both are still shit-faced and hungover, but oblige. Take the rifle and keep it trained on that thing. Its arms unfold. The reason its arms were so stiff and waving is because it was waving them like a dummy with its arms bent up to its shoulder. Motherfucker had like 6-foot-long arms. He stopped slouching. Easily 8 feet tall, going off a distance of 450 yards. The most banshee-like screech I've ever heard mixed with a guttural roar emits from the thing. Its jaw distends to the point that it's where its collarbone should be. Pot shot it. Thing lanks onto all fours and hightails it away from us. We come back to the campsite later that afternoon with our shotgun filled with buckshot and the AR-15. Just in case, of course. Tent is shredded, all our food is gone. Track the garbage towards the swamp line. See a ripped apart muskrat hanging from a tree. We both decide to call it quits and just get the fuck out of there. I can't even properly describe the thing we saw. It looked like a fucking bat human with how disproportionate its arms and legs were. Like, seriously. It unfolded its arms like a praying mantis, and each of its fingers were nearly a foot long. My brother thinks it was a chupacabra, but I'm pretty sure it was some kind of skinwalker. Several years ago in college in Northern California, beautiful lush redwood forests. Used to go on hikes all the time. Local dude told me to be careful because of hidden pot farms. Apparently they put booby traps around them and will shoot trespassers. One day I'm deep in a woods, hiking through some shallow canyons, and I see what looks like a deer blind made of branches and leaves. Sudden bad feeling, hair standing on end. Stop in my tracks and stare at it in silence for several minutes. Seems empty and realize it's after deer season, so I cautiously approach to check it out. Get up to it and look around it, and inside, it's empty. Decide to chill out and eat my packed lunch while hanging out in it. Hear a weird buzzing sound like electricity or something. Look around but can't tell where it's coming from. Suddenly got really dizzy, like I'd pounded a fifth of vodka or something. Next thing I know, I'm waking up on the ground. Head hurts like shit and I'm disorientated. It's nearly dark, so at least 3 hours have passed. No watch and cell phone was dead. Get up and stagger around in a circle trying to figure out what's going on. Some reason there's snot coming out of my right ear. What? Really freaked out, and by that point decide to get the fuck out. Dark as fuck by the time I get back to my car. Still no idea what happened. Had a headache for days, and my right ear has been fucked up ever since. Kind of a lame story, but it's my only spooky Innawoods experience, and it still freaks me out. Have dad that lives in the middle of the Ozark Mountains. Stay with him for a few weeks to a month every summer. Mom has custody, but she and dad are on good terms. House isn't great, mate, but he made a lot of furniture out of local cedar, and he's a pretty skilled carpenter and engineer type. Has his own sawmill and wood shop that we, brother was with me, used to make candlesticks and tables and things when we got older. House had this little screen wall porch, important later, on the side 90 degrees away from the door. It has a sliding door, but it's busted, so you have to walk about 20 feet around the house each time you want to go in or come out. Anyway, be 11 or 12. Few days left until we go home to Mom's. Excited to go home and play video. It's nighttime. Me and bro's bedroom is on the second floor. Only window has a good view of front yard, read, trees to left and right, driveway to road in front. Trying to fall asleep, but too excited. Hear dad and stepmom talking downstairs, which is weird because they're always asleep by 10ish. Front door opening .wave. This is weird. Look out window. See dad walk out with a flashlight and his double barrel. Don't know what model. Sorry, commandos. Goes to leftmost tree line and shines light here and there. Debate waking up brother about this, but he gets real pissy real easy. Hear gunshot and nearly shit myself whipping back to the window. Look back in time to see dad thumb another shell into the breech. Whatever he was doing, he wanted 2 shots at the ready. So nervous, I actually hear the clack of the gun. See him walk backwards all the way to the house, trying to hold his gun and flashlight up at the same time. It was one of those big clunk ones that used the massive battery. He makes it uneventfully, and I'm too wired to fall back asleep. Next few days, he seems weird and more quiet than usual. Doesn't want to do any of the stuff he normally leaps at with us. We left a few days later, and I was too chicken shit to ask him about it. The next year we visited, though, things were different around the house. Drive up to his house. Rode there with half-grown English Mastiff taking up 80% of the back seat. Friendly enough to us, but slobbery. Finally make it around late afternoon. Suddenly, lights. Everywhere. Floodlights at each corner of the house. Lights on posts. Damn Christmas lights strung up around the outside. Honest to God, watchtowers set up on 3 sides of the house. Sawmill's been moved. New platform on top of the wood shop. 4 or 5 new guns, all high-powered rifles. Again, no model because I was a kid. All I have now is a 780L for deer hunting. My fuck, there's even a concrete bunker. It's Kay's wet dream. Before you say this is fake, I shit you not, my dad's place is still set up like this. It was in the days before camera phones, early 2000s, and it never occurred to me to take pictures of his shame until now. Ask him what it's all for. Platforms, deer stands. 4 of them? All within 200 feet of the house? Bunker. Auto maintenance. Nice roof on your auto maintenance pit. The lights? to make the place more cheery, or to blind commercial aircraft, the dogs and guns to keep weirdos off the property. The way he answered my questions still bugs me. They sounded 100% rehearsed. Anyway, thanks for reading past all the expository bullshit. Needed to set the stage for the next post. Right, now for the shit my dad doesn't like talking about. Go to bed that night. There's a new heavy curtain on the window. Why? Because the lights are always on. Wake up that night to a gunshot. Look outside. My eyes.jpg. See Dad on one of the deer stands, working the bolt on one of his new guns. Something's up. Next morning he's practically vegetative. Ask him about last night. Trying to get us a deer to barbecue. Shrug.gif. Ask if I can go outside and play. He thinks for a moment and says yes, but not to go off into the woods. Super intense eyes when he said that last thing, despite being raccoon-eyed. Go outside, make a beeline for the stand he was on last night. Feet clink on a pile of 30 shells. If you've been doing your math, all the new gear plus those expensive-ass rounds should be adding up to quite a sum. His job's not terrible, but that crap must have been expensive. Fast forward a few days. Dad got a pig from one of his neighbors. Closest one is at least 5 miles in any direction, and we spent the day learning to barbecue properly. Dad has the shoddy on standby and Fonzie, his old German shepherd, nearby the entire time. That evening, we're all sitting on the screen porch licking our fingers when Fonzie starts barking his head off, staring at the ravine behind the house. The dogs on the other side start barking and growling too. Dad starts up and nearly knocks the plate off his lap. He grabs the gun and stares down the ravine. Cat, stepmom, take the boys inside. Suddenly hear the sound of branches snapping from trees near the bunker. We're being flanked. Brother and I are swapping nervous glances, just about pissing ourselves. Without a word, Dad hands Cat Fonzie's leash and takes the rear while she leads us inside. Once inside the greenhouse, it's a straight shot to the door, and the 6 of us go in. Dad grabs a flashlight, a new gun, and a bug-out bag filled with rounds, and goes outside with Fonzie. Cat tries to keep us entertained with a stash of old kids' tapes, but neither of us are interested. Brother wants to go out and help Dad. I'm pissing my britches. For about half an hour, it's nothing but gunshots, growling, and the occasional yell from Dad. The window-mounted AC is running, and there's a weird smell to the air. Old barbecue, gun smoke, and something absolutely awful. Rank horse sweat mixed with something like old manure and hot death and stale piss. Cat decides to risk it and opens the door to see what's going on. When she does, the house is immediately flooded with the stench. She shouts out to him and he barks back, "Keep that closed!" She keeps that closed. Eventually, bodily needs overcome fear and I walk off to the bathroom. It's set on the wall that faces the ravine. This next bit's gonna sound seriously fake, but it's the reason I keep all my windows covered to this day. As I'm shitting, I look up at the bathroom mirror. Something in the reflection looks back at me. It's illuminated by the light from inside and outside, so I get a better look at it than I ever would have wanted to. Bullet-shaped head, but not in the traditional sense. Stand a 9mm round on its base and you get the idea. Rough gray red fur with forward-facing whorl, that little swirly thing on the back of your head, and what looks like a part on one side. Eyes? F me, the eyes are the absolute worst, just no thank you. Its face is sort of lopsided, but the nose is large and squashed, the mouth is hanging open a little, and the teeth are sort of tombstone-shaped and cruddy. My butthole nearly explodes from the sheer force of my fear shits. I just sit, shit, and stare at the thing's reflection, my mind failing to change gears. Then it leans forward and I hear the clunk of its face hitting the glass above my head. The new source of input recalibrates my brain. It realizes that this thing is right the f behind me. I start wailing like a banshee, hear the thing gurgle through the glass. Flail sprint my way through the bathroom door, trip on my pants, which are still around my ankles, and get a chunk of wood from the kitchen's shitty particle board floor lodged in my knee. Too scared to feel pain or embarrassment, Cat and brother come into the kitchen, see me panting and sobbing sprawled on the floor, pants around my feet, staring at the bathroom. I didn't even have time to wipe. Cat asks what happened as I pull my pants up. Dad comes barging through the door. Guess he heard my screams and thought I was being befuddled by some big gurgling monkey dog bastard. He sees me on the floor, bleeding, and immediately starts yelling about how I raised that much of a racket over a busted knee. I see his fear, relief, and anger, and raise him the hurt and pure terror of a tween that lost a staring contest with a f***ing monster. Tell him about the thing I saw. He tells me and my brother to go upstairs. Don't remember much after that except that he went back out, left one of the other dogs with us, and that Cat helped clean and bandage my knee. The next day, Dad wouldn't let us go outside, but the smell was still in the house. He called our mom to come to Springfield, the halfway meetup point, the next day. Pig was gone, about 80 pounds of exquisitely barbecued leftovers and carcass that Dad had promised the neighbor in exchange for the pig. One of the dogs was missing. Dad stayed inside with us that night. I was too afraid to go downstairs to the bathroom, so he gave me a little milk bottle and an extra blanket as a privacy tent. And that's really it. He took us to Springfield the next day after making us promise not to tell Mom. I might not have shown it very well, but he loved the hell out of us and didn't want her to stop bringing us. I was there again a year or so ago. We barbecued in his new, hand-built smokehouse, drank, shot the shit, but the second I brought up the incident I've been posting, it killed the mood immediately. All he said was, "We haven't been having any trouble for the last few," and he went back to drinking. It's worth mentioning, though, that there's another new addition to his place. A concrete slab off past the trees in the back of his house. It's not raised off the ground, and it's not very cleanly laid out. It's about 5 feet wide, 6 or 7 long, and if you kick up the dirt around it, you dig up a thin layer of black shit, like soot. Now, I'm not saying that he managed to kill one of the things, burned its corpse in a pit, and buried it all under concrete, but if he did, I hope it was the big gurgly bastard. Be 4 or 5. Live in medium-density suburban area. Remember parents buying a life-size stone swan for their garden in the front. Felt uneasy about it the moment they brought it home. It's beautifully detailed, but I can sense something wrong about it. My bedroom is on the 2nd floor, overlooking the front and the garden. Can't sleep the following night. Feel inexplicably drawn to the window. Look out into the yard. Only light is from a dull orange streetlight in the distance. I shit you not. The swan f***ing came to life and was walking around the yard. It was dark, but the shape was unmistakable. Watch it for a good 2 hours before going back to bed. Fast forward to the next night. See it stalking the yard again. It suddenly turns to look up at my window. My heart f***ing stops. It has burning eyes like embers from a campfire. Before I have time to think, it spreads its wings and flies straight at my bedroom window, screaming like something out of hell. Bizarre mixture of a person shrieking, a messed up car horn, and an elephant trumpeting. Blackout. Wake up the next morning in the garden in broad daylight. I'm sitting in the mulch covered in blood with the swan smashed to pieces in front of me. It was f***ing obliterated. There were thousands of bloody fragments, the biggest about 2 inches long. Parents burst out the door, freaking out. They grab me and drive me to the hospital. Apparently I had broken bones. Remember nothing else after that. Our garden is now disgustingly overgrown with vines and shit. The pieces are probably still buried under there. Basically, my nope is that I think there is something living and walking around in my ex-best friend's skin. We'll tell the tale on the nopes that led up to it. July last year. Me and friend, both 18, decide to go camping for a week. End up not liking any of the lame, paid campsites. We're doing this the old way, damn it. Illegally camp in this amazing area surrounded by paddocks and woods and etc., far away from houses and properties. Nearest town at least half-hour drive away. Snakes and spiders. We are Australian. First few days of camping are great, though it was pretty rainy. Every night we end up talking for hours and being hilarious, and then go to sleep in the massive swag I brought. The place is great, but for some reason we stick together. It made me uneasy to be alone, and for some reason we always made sure we were within viewing distance of one another. One night we ended up huddled in fear. We can hear something walking around the swag. Walks around us for hours while we both nope the fuck out. Hear screech from a distance. Noise like wind going past really fast and footsteps stop. We're camped in a clearing. No wind can get through the trees like that and hasn't this whole time. My friend laughs. Haha, holy fucking on, that was scary. End up eventually going to sleep but wake up at noon. Next day, I'm cooking. Oh shit, we need more firewood. Can't leave this food because it'll burn really fast. My friend volunteers, duh. First time one of us has gone into the wooded area alone. Friend pauses before going in. Finally summons some fucking courage and disappears from sight. I'm a master chef. Not wearing my watch, but it's been like an hour. I'm nearly done cooking this stuff. Assume they're taking a shit, and I'll give that fucker some privacy. Fire begins to fail, so I have to ninja get some wood and finish the meal. Eventually I realize maybe some inbred guys have been eaten my friend. Damn it, I spent ages cooking this meal. Am willing to avenge at the risk of being ripped and eaten myself. Grab big-ass knife, rifle, torch, and a bite of my delicious damper. Walk into woods yelling for friend. Feel something watching me. Beginning to get scared, but not about to admit that. Come on out, you fucker. It doesn't take that long to shit. See someone in woods in front of me. Hear my mate laugh. Hear a screech behind me. Oh, nope. Sprint straight towards where I saw my friend. He's unarmed. Be running. Lose sight of friend. Call out to him. If you're dead, I will kill you. End up breaking through wooded area into a paddock. Ah, shit. See something move in woods across the paddock. Looks big. Bigger than me. Consider how many bullets I have. Probably not enough. Haha. Nope. Run back through the woods. Get through to campsite. Friend is sitting there wearing a change of clothes. Ha ha ha. That was scary as f. See nothing wrong with it. Haha, dummy, what did you do? Cover yourself in shit? He laughs. Oh wait, did you hear the screech? Shakes his head. I must be paranoid. We dig into some delicious food. Tell him about the huge thing I saw. He just laughs again. I wouldn't worry about it. That night, sitting across from friend in front of fire, I decided to teach myself whittling. Whittling away. Cut my thumb. Friend looks at thumb. I stick a band-aid on it and continue to whittle. He's reading a book and has a little lantern with him. I know, what a lame thing to do. Woods rustling and shit. Crickets chirping away. Friend laughs at something he's read. I think about his laugh in the woods. Realize it's the exact same laugh as the one when the thing walked around the swag. Same laugh he did just then, and same as the first thing he said when I found him with different clothes on back at camp. He said the same words too. Weird. Eventually he decided to drink a little bit. He's a lightweight. We both crawl into the swag giggling. Oh yeah. I have the knife attached to my belt. I wake up once and find him staring at me. Drunk brain suddenly worried he might be going homo for a second while drunk. Talk about this girl I really like. He seems to be really aware and listening to everything I say. Suddenly feels like my bladder is gonna burst. I stagger out to this little river that goes past our campsite. Take a piss in the early morning light while in awe of the majesty of nature. See something gray sticking out of the riverbed. Pull it out. It's my friend's shirt he wore yesterday before going into the woods. It's torn up pretty bad, little bit of blood on it. Too drunk to really put anything together. Lovingly rebury it because my drunk brain thinks putting the cotton back to nature to decompose is a great idea. Clean hands on pants. Climb back into swag. Friend is gone to the world. I pass out and wake up a couple of hours later. Friend is still asleep. Dirty hands, but then we both have dirty hands and stuff. Begin to think about the weird shit that's been happening. Fire needs restarting. While pushing the coals and ashes around to add wood properly, I find a button off the pants he wore yesterday, and a bit of gray cotton fabric like the stuff from his shirt. What the hell? Today is the day we pack up and leave. When friend wakes up, he's being as weird as he was yesterday. I'm packing. He gives me a weird look. I tell him to help. He asks if I can go get some firewood because he's hungry. I tell the bitch once we've done packing I'll hold his hand and go into the woods with him. Once we've packed up, we both carry shit over to the car, which is hidden near the bush track to get out of here. I've checked my car every day. He follows the whole way because the dumbass has probably forgotten where it is. We load up the car. I turn it on to make sure it's all good. I'm able to tune radio. Pretty staticky, but there's a weather warning about storms hitting the area. We go back to the campsite to grab the last stuff. Can we go get firewood now? Friend is standing just inside the edge of the woods. Suddenly get this feeling deep in my stomach, like instinctual fear or something. Really want to get the fuck out of there. Nah, man. Weather warning. Eat some food we've got left over and we'll buy something hot when we hit the next town. It's an 8-hour drive home. While I finish picking up rubbish, he doesn't even eat anything, but he's been acting weird. Ask him if he's alright. Yeah, Non, I'm fine. Are you sure we can't stay another night? I don't think the storm will hit here. See something move in the woods behind him. The fuck is that? He doesn't turn around. I pull out my knife, and for some reason he goes into almost a defensive pose and gives me a weird look. Dude, there was something behind you. He turns around. I'm sure it was nothing, Anon. While we walk up to the car, he looks behind us a few times. I'm trying to act normal because he isn't. So, when I was cleaning up the fire, I noticed bits of your clothes in there. He says he wrecked them while collecting firewood and didn't want to add to the rubbish to bring back. Fucking weirdo, dude. You've never done shit like that before. He shrugs and looks around as we get up to the car. I feel like something's watching me. Once we're in the car and back out on the road, I feel much better. I keep trying to make conversation, but he doesn't put much effort into it. I turn on the radio. Every so often he repeats things some of the radio presenters say. While we aren't talking, I have time to think about it. Him not being worried about shit that worries me. Think about the weird looks he's been giving me in different situations. Feel sick and horrified, and I realize the faces are probably the faces I was pulling at him at those moments. He's been mimicking my expressions. Realize he's been repeating phrases I say, and his laugh never changes. His clothes all torn up and burying them, and then finding them burnt after I found them the first time. Wanting me to go back into the creepy woods for some reason. I know for a fact he isn't gay or something. He has a girl he likes, and it's adorable how chill he tries to be about it. Decide to give a little test. Talk about some stupid shit we did as kids. Ask him questions and he just says, "Oh, I don't remember that part," or agrees with me. The more I think about it, I realize he hasn't been acting like himself at all since he went missing while I cooked. When we get to town, I turn my phone on and call my mom. She's glad we had fun and stuff and can't wait for us to get back in town and spend some time with her before I get back to work. Ask him if he's gonna call his parents. Weird look again, and then he gets his phone from his backpack. I grab money from our joint cash fund and buy us both lunch. He eats the almost raw steak from his burger but doesn't want his chips or the rest of the bun or salad. He goes in, comes out with 2 more huge pieces of red steak, done rare. Wolfs those down while I finish my meal. Pulls out his phone again and fires off some texts. Notice some wicked bruises covering his upper arms. What happened out there, man? He shrugs, says they don't hurt. Well, okay then. I change clothes and shower there. Shower where? Where are you? I thought you were at a restaurant. He's waiting by the car. Notice him staring and watching other people. Says he doesn't want to shower. I call him smelly, so he disappears for a bit. Comes back with new clothes and has had a shower. Thank God, we both smelled like wildlings. Keep on driving. Now it's nighttime. Only an hour or 2 away from home. He slowly begins to join in conversation, but he doesn't sound the same as he used to. None of his speech habits, like making puns. No talking about the girl he's crazy about. Decide to bring up the creepy shit that happened at the campsite. I swear I thought about shooting at that horse or whatever that big thing was, but then I decided I liked my chances of not knowing. He laughs. I wouldn't worry about that, Anon. I begin to feel uneasy and think that maybe this isn't my friend sitting beside me anymore. What about that thing that walked around our tent? He gives me this weird smile. Maybe it was a werewolf, Anon. I laugh. Or a hot chick who was lost. He grins wider. Or maybe something that was just checking us out. Feel weird again. I force a laugh. Why would anything do that? Like some cannibal or... He looks out the window. I can't watch him because I gotta keep my eyes on the road. Maybe they wanted to get out of there as badly as you did this morning, Anon. The fuck did he just say? Glance at him, not looking at me. Can feel my knife still on my hip and in its holster. The rifle stored safely away in the back. Like a skinwalker or some shit? Trying not to drive the car off the side of the road. Something like that. We both go silent. He laughs. Same laugh. But that would be impossible, right, Anon? I laugh. Yeah, it would be. Radio goes on and we don't talk for the rest of the drive. Get to his house, help him get his shit out of my car, and then I drive home. Get inside, shaking. I am a man. Keep it together. Seriously think my friend died out there and there's something else living inside him now. Weird shit has happened, like his dog and cat have mysteriously disappeared. He doesn't hang out with us as much, and even the girl he liked tried to hang out with him, and she says it was really weird. He apparently acts almost robotically and only eats hardly cooked meat like a caveman. His mom even asked if he'd gotten into any fights because his skin is always bruised. Now, he could have joined a fight club or has become the clumsiest ever, but honestly, my friend is a totally different guy. He recently invited me to go camping again to the same spot. I had to say I was busy, but I'm terrified that maybe there was more than one, and when he tried to get me to go out into the woods with him, he was trying to lure me out there for the same thing that happened to me. Shit's so f***ed, I ignore his calls now, and whenever I get back from a swing at work, all I get is complaints about his weird behavior and people asking if he's on drugs or something. For God's sake, I've told my friends to never take him up on camping, and I told the girl I liked, now my girlfriend, wow, all this weird shit that happened, and she agrees that he's a totally different person. He was a stand-up guy who was hilarious and laid back, and now he's almost malicious and uncaring, and sometimes I can hear that laugh in my head and that screech, and it sucks being terrified of some asshole I used to love like a brother. And so concludes the fucked up tale of me being convinced that my friend is no longer human or who he used to be. I've never in my life seen anyone change like that. Just some days I nope the whole thing and hope that I'm crazy and he just gone out on some sort of hardcore drugs. You should have asked him things that only he would know. Lie about something, make him agree with you, and there you go. A better way to tell. Or just come clean with everything and see if he admits it in arrogance. That's pretty much what I did, and that's what set it off for me. Stupid shit we did as kids, like putting this purple goo into these girls' hair. He loves to tell that story because in order to get rid of the blame on us, we put it in our own hair so we wouldn't get in trouble and they wouldn't tell. We got in trouble anyway. While we were driving, I asked him if he remembered putting goo into girls' hair. He said yes. I asked him if he remembered if it was green or blue or purple or something, and he said he didn't remember but was pretty sure it was green. Now, there's no way he forgot. No way. He told that story a couple of weeks before we went down there. I also asked him shit about his first dog, Mo. He didn't remember shit about Mo. All my homies remember Mo. All my homies love Mo. In fact, it made me so sick of his vague responses that I stopped before he realized I was getting upset. And God knows what would have happened if it had realized what I was doing. But I assume it can read, and it learns, very fast, like his phone. When I told him to call his parents, he treated his phone like he had no idea. But then by the time I bought him food, he was already texting people. And then his mimicking my expressions and other people's and the radio's talking. It's too spooky for me, man. Maybe it makes me an asshole for being willing to drop a friendship that I've had pretty much my whole life over these experiences, but honestly, what am I supposed to do? Hello, officers. When I was on a camping trip with my best mate last year, we spent a good amount of time drinking and camping on illegal ground, which will get me fined if not imprisoned. I'm pretty sure something ate my friend's insides, and now he's wearing him as a meat suit. Could you please contact the proper authorities and have the entire town and campsite nuked? Ha! From what I know, he hasn't attacked anyone physically or asked anyone else to go camping with him. Be 11 to 12 years old. Trip to some big-ass water park for summer, cause no camp this year. I was big into scouts and shit like that at that age. Trip was super cool. Going back home after 3 days of fun. Not even sad, cause I'm so satisfied with the trip. Suddenly a feeling comes over me. Dad, I need to take a number 2. Pull up to a nearby gas station. Okay, Anon, go poop and we're gonna refuel and buy some stuff, just be quick. Go into toilet. Pick related except no mirrors, and stall doors were more like the shitty ones at school. Go into stall on the left. There were 3 stalls and the one in the middle was occupied. Pooping and minding my business when I hear an ungodly scream. Something like a mix between a deer and a bear. Scared so much I no longer needed to poop but didn't want to leave the stall. Hear a weird voice or voices? Hard to tell. Speaking some weird language. Latin, I think, although not sure. See blood flowing on the floor from the middle stall. Jesus, help me. My stall door shakes violently. Scream like a little girl. Beg for mercy. Everything stops. Blood is gone. Bathroom empty. No clue what just happened. Want to get out. Door to outside won't open even though it lacks a lock. The fuck I do now? Scream for help. Dad hears me. I'll get help Anon. Calm down a bit. Turn around. Middle stall is open and I see this massive shadow monster thing. I vividly remember that it was dark with large horns and eyes that reflected light like animal eyes do, but not much besides that. Scream louder than I ever have in my life as it slowly approaches me. Right when it's like 3 meters from me, some biker with a crowbar who my dad recruited opens the door. They look and see nothing in there. They think I'm crazy. Dad is mad at me for a couple months because he had to pay for that door. This happened this most recent August. Second weirdest thing I've ever seen in this state. Easily the most unsettling. Get 3 days free after doing 24/7 grandpa care for 2 months. Get 2 friends to go into mountains with me. Leave Friday night in a truck pulling a trailer with 2 four-wheelers. Light finally fades about 10 p.m., mid-August in Alaska. Take it easy on speed because big old diesel. Get to the target highway at about midnight. Pavement ends at mile 21-ish. Everything to now has been pretty normal. Couple miles in, road turns left with a small pull-off on the right side. Little Subaru parked there facing into the road. LED light bar at face level.png. There's someone leaning on the hood watching us as we drive by. Tired by this point, not real concerned. Figure it's someone waiting for their hunting buddy. It's caribou season. Keep going. This highway is real rough in the fall. It's gravel and the heavy rainfall combined with all the fall-time hunting and camping traffic tears it up. I'm going 30 miles an hour if I'm lucky. Truck, trailer, and teeth all going daka 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 from washboards. Nice bright full moon, can miss the worst spots. Hit real long straight stretch before trailhead pull off. Get half a mile down the straight stretch, about halfway. Lights in rear view mirror. F***ing bright as fuck light bar again. He's hauling ass, 50 to 60 miles an hour or more. One friend is zonked in the back and the other one is spaced out. Point the light bar car out to him. He watches them in the side mirror, doesn't seem too unsettled. Car's maybe 200 feet back when I finally pull into the trailhead. Car catches up about 10 seconds later. Slows down to about 5 miles an hour going by, obviously checking us out. Hackles raised.tiff. Park the truck. Watch them drive down the highway for a bit. Let out a deep breath. Look to the left at the other corner of this parking area. There's an SUV parked there, no big deal. This is when it gets way out of whack. Wake up the other friend. Kill the engine. Hop out. Instant gut assessment? Shit's We're being hunted. Time to go. My first response to this novel sensation? Hey, there's something written on that SUV. Shine my flashlight on it. Moloch. Written in the dust on the back window since it was parked. Oh, fuck. What? Friends are stretching legs. One has his AR out. They're both too quiet. Check out SUV. Engine still warm, parked within a few hours. Only front passenger door is locked. Shoes, sandals, and shorts. Comfy driving wear on the front seats. Full packs and compound bow in the back. Full cooler. Tent. Everything is untouched. 6-month expired youth group sticker on the hood. Empty coffee hut coffees. Looks like a young couple out to camp. Friends are checking out this SUV. We've all independently reached 10 out of 10 maximum alert. Look around the whole area and nobody is there. No fresh tracks except in the parking area itself. Another pair of cars with LED light bars go by hauling maximum ass. We keep our rifles on them from cover as they go by. Give in to gut feeling. Leave. Camp 30 miles away on a different highway. Come back in the morning. SUV still there, untouched. Still no sign of anybody around. Terrible gut feeling gone. Take the four-wheelers and go 8 miles back into mountains. Have a good time camping, get bullied by a caribou. Come back the next day. Nobody was out there. Great lines of sight and nowhere to hide. SUV untouched. Food in the back is starting to go off. Get back to town. Call SUV in to troopers. Dispatcher goes, yeah, that's sketchy AF. I'll send someone out. Call back 2 weeks later to see what came of it. No record of having ever called it in, but they have every other call I've made. Sorry, Kay. Some stories don't have a good ending. I'm convinced we were getting checked out, and the only reason they let us be was because we had our ARs propped up on the seats and very visible. I never found any explanation for what I saw out there. All I know is that gut feeling I got when we got out of the truck was the spookiest thing I've ever felt, and all 3 of us felt it independently. There's some f***ed up shit going on out there, I'm convinced. I think I saw a goat man today. Some background info. I live right by a bike trail that cuts into a dense forest that goes on and on for miles. The trail is actually laid upon old railroad tracks, and along the way there are still some old pre-1900s buildings lost in the dense forest that still remain unexplored. Run-on sentence much? When I was a kid, I was always deathly afraid to go out into these woods for some reason. Well, what I encountered today has rekindled that fear. This afternoon at about 1, I really felt like riding my bike. The weather is so nice now, and I love being alone out in the woods away from everyone, so it was perfect. I pack up a notebook, a pen, always on hand in case of inspiration, and a big bottle of water and head off into the woods. The opening is so tiny against the vast, dense forest you have to know exactly where it is to find it. It always seems spooky and mystical because it's just this black, almost doorway-looking void amidst the mountain of trees and underbrush. I speed down the hill as usual, and in a couple of seconds reach the crossroads. One goes forward into the thickest parts of the forest, the left goes towards the city and highway, and the right goes out into the open endless fields and farmland with big patches of forest spread throughout. I sat there for a little bit, took a swig of water, and head right. I haven't been out very far past the fields before, and I have a day to kill, so I keep going and going and going. Past the open fields and the huge pastures, past the familiar broken down railroad checkpoint or whatever it is, past the one single house that lies just outside the trail, past the huge rusting metal bridge. Dude, this sounds awesome. So I'm going and going and going, and eventually I see a beware sign nailed to a tree, then another, then a couple altogether nailed to an old busted phone line, and finally a huge wooden barricade that says, "Stay out." Pick related, except imagine thicker and the trail like 20 feet higher than the tree bases. The thing was already pushed partially out of the way like someone had been in before me, and being the rebel I am, I just had to see what was back there. Something I soon came to regret. So I'm riding again, and the forest is far thicker than before, and out on each side of the trail, about 4 inches out, it drops right off. Steep as fuck and deadly, that's for sure. At this point, I'm a bit uneasy, as it's completely silent. Not a sound. I mean, this is deep, thick forest. Why am I not hearing animals? Immediately after this realization, I come upon an opening, finally. Down below, it's now swampy and dark. The trees are far and few between and rise out of these deep, dark pools of water. Dude, where are you that has thick forest, pastures, and swamp like all right there? I'm creeped out at this point. It's eerie as fuck out here. I'm totally alone and I'm getting tired. I start crossing this very sketchy old wooden bridge, slowly, and then hear this deep, low grumble and immediately pause. Nothing but eerie, empty silence, not a sound all around me. I then carefully start again and realize that it's just my tire. The thing has gone flat. I have no idea how I didn't realize this earlier at any point in the trip. I mean, it was totally and utterly dead. Then I hear this dreadful, blood-curdling scream tear through silence. I'm teary-eyed and have goosebumps as I tell this. I'm frozen. I have no idea what it was, no idea where it was, and of all times, my tire is flat as a racist comment. A stick breaks, and I immediately whip my bike around and started pedaling my ass off. All of a sudden, I start hearing shit crashing in the woods, and I don't dare look out there. I'm swerving all over this shitty trail because it's covered in pebbles, holes, cracks, broken branches, and all kinds of other shit that can totally kill me at this speed. And somehow before I didn't see these clumps of white stringy fur all caught in the trees and all along the trail. The sounds of something racing through this dense thick brush are so loud I can hear it over my horrendously obnoxious flat tire squishing and squashing on the ground as I'm almost spinning the chain off the gear. At this point, a million things are racing through my mind. My legs are absolutely burning from riding out so far into the woods and now blazing back on this damn tire. I swerved right on the edge of the trail and the sandy pebble shit went flying out into the trees, jumped over a huge pothole and heard another loud-ass scream. That didn't even faze me at this point. I'm just pounding my legs, breathing so hard my chest hurts and waiting for my tire to explode at any moment and to finally get eaten by whatever is chasing me. I just missed the barricade, literally centimeters from crashing headfirst into the thing. Finally, I see a light off in the distance. I'm close to getting back on the fields and back towards home. I'm filled with this new wind of energy and kick it into hyperdrive now. The sounds of crashing are now getting softer, slower, then stop. I made it. I finally made it. I zoom right out into the sunlight. I've never been happier in my life to feel the sun in my eyes. At that moment, I just stop. The fatigue just immediately hits me like a wave. I'm dead tired and couldn't move another inch. I turn my head around to look back at whatever was there, and in the darkness I see two red burning eyes just staring right at me. I felt my entire body go cold. Then in a flash, they were gone. I rode back as fast as I could, but eventually I slowed down and crawled my way back. I downed what little bit of water I had left, and even though it was hot, I wasn't sweating one drop. I was literally frozen from that stare. Did I see a Goatman X? Tomorrow I'm getting a gun license and buying a shotgun and never going out in those woods again. I'm even considering moving into a city away from any wooded areas now. Could you describe it? Did you get a good look? It was tall, taller than me at least, and I'm 6'2". It was slim and had long limbs, and I could see it was pale under the scattered light that broke through the canopy. Alright, here we go. This is the scariest thing I've ever experienced. I'm out camping with some buddies up in North England. Stereotypical, I know, but bear with me. There's about 4 of us, Mark, me, Lucas, and James. We haven't really been camping before, in all honesty. It took us 3 hours to set up 3 tents because we have no clue what to do. Our car is about a 20-minute walk down a dirt path, not really far, but trees make it hard to see really. This will be important later. James forgot to bring firewood, so we send him out with an axe to go get some. He's pretty strong, goes to the gym pretty often. Mark goes with him. So they head off into the woods towards a clearing we spotted whilst walking about a while ago, searching for a good spot to set up. We didn't choose that spot as we had no trees to prevent rain from drenching the tents in fire. It rains like fucking England. So Mark and James are out collecting firewood. It's just me and Lucas chilling and drinking. About an hour later, Mark and James come back, and they don't have the axe. I ask where James put it, as he was the one holding it when they walked away. Mark asks him. Lucas points it out. It's leaning against a tree not 3 meters away. It looks weird, like a glitched texture in a game. Kind of blurred, if you get what I mean. Brush it off. Mark picks it up, and it just looks normal, so I don't bring it up. Nothing really happens. We go to bed early due to lack of fire to sit around. We had all 4 tents set up by now. I wake up in the night for no reason. Literally fuck all. Quiet ass, all buggery. As if all sounds have been muted. Honest to God, I couldn't hear myself clap or talk. I checked. Worried for my hearing, I go back to sleep. See if I'm okay in the morning. James wakes me up. The fuck were you clapping at, Anon? Oh, I temporarily lost my hearing. I'm not surprised. We were up until 4 a.m. around the campfire and you kept screaming and laughing at it. We didn't have a fire last night, though. Yeah, we did. Remains of a fire outside in the middle of the tents. It's kind of warm, recently put out. I'm actually scared at this point. I can't reason with the situation. No, oh, I was tired bullshit. So I just sit down, try to process this all. Mark, James, and Lucas are all talking. They notice me kind of sitting there. Mark asks what's up. We didn't have a fire last night. What? There was no fire. I know. James chimes in here. There was a fire. You guys sat by it with me last night. Lucas also chimes in. No, we f***ing didn't. All 3 of us do not remember a fire. James insists there was a fire. He gets kinda mad and goes back into his tent. Me, Mark, and Lucas leave him to chill. We head out to that clearing from earlier. Lucas heads back to his car to get a pocket knife. He wants to do some carving and stuff. He likes sharpening sticks and shit. We watch him go down the path. We only see his head after a while because the trees block out his body. He ducks under a low branch and he doesn't come back up. We just go to the clearing, assuming he just kept low to not hit his head or some shit. We get there and Lucas is there. He was 10 minutes away and we were 3 minutes from the clearing. How did you get here so fast? Anon, I've been walking with you since we left camp. We just watched you leave and go to the car. No, you didn't. Mark speaks up in kind of a whisper. Anon, that's not Lucas. Look. He kind of tilts his head towards the path to the car. Lucas is fucking by the car. We see his head inside it. He's looking for his pocket knife. Whatever has stood with us sees Lucas too. It throws its head back and opens its mouth. Emits this high-pitched sound like a dog whistle but for humans. Collapse due to its loudness. Vision going white. Sound won't stop. Wake up back at camp. Mark, Lucas, and James all there around a fire. Mark asks if I'm okay. What was that thing? What was what? That thing that knocked us out. Anon, me and you walked out to the clearing and you passed out. I brought you back. At this point, I require new pants because I've officially pissed myself. I'm at the brink of tears. This is messing with my head and I'm a bit of a pussy. Go into tent and sleep. Try at least. Just lay there for a while. Once again, trying to just process this. Hours pass. Felt like minutes to me. Once again, all sound stops, even Mark, James, and Lucas talking outside. Poke my head out of the tent. See them moving as if talking, laughing, etc. Duck my head back in. Same high-pitched sound that thing in the clearing made, but not as loud. Doesn't hurt me this time. I'm shitting enough bricks to build a 4-bedroom house at this point. Lay down and just let everything pass. Sound fades off as if it was walking away. Regain hearing. Sounds like a tent being opened hurriedly. James is practically ripping my tent open. Anon, get the fuck up, we're leaving now. Stand up, but kind of weakish, overwhelmed by all of this, trying to rationalize. Mark and Lucas are combat sprinting to the car. James has my arm around him and we're shuffling as fast as possible to the car. James, what's going on? Anon, shut up, it'll hear us. I'm on the verge of tears. Like I said, I'm a pussy. We get to the car after around 17 minutes of shuffling. Mark and Lucas are already in it, car's running. They motion for us to get in. I'm in the back seat with James at my side. Mark is driving, Lucas in the passenger seat. Mark floors it along this dirt roadish kind of thing that leads to a highway, about 10 minutes from the campgrounds. Look out back window, out of paranoia and to reassure myself that we're not being followed. I see this kind of amalgamation of us four. Its face is made up of our faces. No, I wasn't on drugs, my dude. Clean for life. This thing's face is our four faces kind of melted together. Vision goes white, like I just got flashbanged or something. Whatever this thing is, it didn't want to be seen in this state. High-pitched sound, causing agony. Got a massive headache from it. Anyway, Mark is flooring it away from the site, and we get to the highway. Every now and then my vision will blur like think it's following us. High-pitched sound hasn't stopped, just not loud enough to hurt anymore. Hear it the whole ride home. Mark won't slow down. Empty highway, so he just speeds. I swear I see this thing following the car by the tree line at the side of the highway. Facing the car, kind of sliding across the floor, like if a video game character's walking animation broke and stopped working. Every time I see it, high-pitched sound increases in volume until I look away and vision goes white after 2 seconds of staring. Eventually stop seeing it 3 miles from home. Never go back. Ever. Stop talking to James after that. Lost contact with him. Mark doesn't talk much. When he does, he stutters. Lucas is pretty chill. I'm still scared as about this. It was about 2 years ago. I don't go outside much anymore. Whole thing f***ed us, mentally, but yeah, believe me or not, this happened, and my mental state ain't as stable as it used to be as a result. Typing this thing out almost gave me a panic attack. That's all. Hope you enjoyed. Just got off a call with James. He finally talked about it, and his story about the ride home was a hell of a lot different to mine, if anyone's interested. James's story is as follows. At the camp, around the time my hearing cut out, and after I ducked my head back into my tent, an hour passes. They see the thing I saw off in the woods, sliding at Mach 9 towards a fox, grabs the fox and rips his chest open, eating the thing there and then, bones and all. They go quiet. It spots them and slides off into the woods. He's shaking at this point. They spot it again 2 minutes later, staring and twitching like He swears they heard a low gurgling sound like its throat was full of a thick liquid like tar. It slides off again after letting out a screech that I didn't hear for some reason. He rips my tent open, grabs me. He carried me to the car. I was out cold. He's scared as shit, trying to sprint, but be quiet. Mark and Lucas are way ahead. He looks back and this thing is at our camp, inside my tent. Gets to car, throws me in and gets in beside me. I wake up after we get to the highway, scream and pass out again. Repeat for an hour. Wake up, look at him, make a gurgling sound like that thing made and passed out again. This scared him enough to not want to talk to me for a long time. He thought it possessed me. Anyway, we get home, Mark drops him off at his house and he stays there, getting family and friends to buy food for him, and he even pays them the money. Refused to leave his house. He was in therapy for a while. I call him a long-ass time after this, and here we are. I'll try to contact Mark and Lucas and see if they'll talk too. What did the creature look like? Have you named it? Named it? No. I'll try to think of one now. But it had our four faces kind of melted together into one head, and it wore a dark red plaid shirt, slightly torn in black trousers. Mark wore the trousers and I wore the shirt. Maybe it would be a good idea to not name it. You never know who's listening. I kind of like melt face, or quad face. Okay, whoa. I didn't know that skinwalkers or goatmen or whatever were really a thing, allegedly a thing, so I always thought I was the only one who'd experienced something like this. Like, maybe it was a hallucination or something, but after reading some of these stories, I'm starting to think that maybe there's something there. Here's what happened. 5 years ago, living with parents, step out for a cigarette at about 2 a.m. Mom hated cigarettes, so I had to sneak out back by the woods. Smoking, notice my neighbor Sean down at the edge of the woods looking at me. What? Wave at him. He just stands there. Suddenly it's hard to breathe, like the air is thick, kind of humid, I guess, and it smells the way pennies taste. Kick myself for being a scaredy cat. Take a drag from cigarette, smoke gets in my eye, and if this has ever happened to you, you know that it hurts like a bitch. I'm forced to close my eyes and rub them for a few seconds. Look up and Sean is closer to me, like he'd walked from the edge of the forest, but now he stopped and standing still again. What was he doing in the forest anyway? What's going on? He waves, but it's like he's jerking his arm instead of moving it fluidly, like he's not sure what he's doing with it. What the Put out cigarette without taking eyes off him, back into the door and go in. Shut the door, peek out window. He's staring right at me, closer to the house, maybe 10 or 15 yards away. Lock door, sprint upstairs. Lock every door in the house, go double check every door. Double checking basement door. He's standing right outside the window, staring at me. His jaw is just kind of drooping. When I look at him, he does the jerking wave again. Scream with the force of 1,000 suns. Run upstairs, encounter stepdad. He's like, "What are you screaming for, Anon?" I tell him there's someone outside. He gets his gun and checks. No one there. Ask neighbor about it at dinner one day. He doesn't know what I'm talking about. Skinwalkers. B15. About to nap after intense after-school relaxation fap. Start to nod off when I see something in the corner of my room. Open my eyes wider to make out what it is. See a woman's corpse, face full of holes and muddy white clothing. Nope. Too scared to move. Ghost thing walks up to me while wheezing. Props itself against my chest. This, kill me now. Close my eyes as tight as possible. Hear a long sigh. Open eyes. Ghost lady thing is gone. Few weeks later, authorities find a woman's decayed body a few miles behind my apartment complex. Still don't know if that thing was her. Proof. 2 months ago, about 2 a.m., home alone. Husband is working a night shift. About to go to bed. Decide to take the dog out first. There is an empty lot bordering the woods behind us. Take dog over there to poop. Dog poops, and we are headed back to the house. Lights are on in the house, and we have large windows in the back. Just as we enter the backyard, the dog stops. I look. See something in the house. Lanky and white, humanish looking thing. Not wearing any noticeable clothing. Bizarrely shaped, kind of deformed. Too tall, much taller than my 6'7" husband looks standing in the same area of our house. Panic. Double back through the gate. Run down the area between the houses until I find an unlocked gate. Go through neighbor's backyard. Go around to the front. 4 houses down from mine. Bang on their door. Neighbor comes to the door. I'm not sure what I should tell her. Tell her I think someone's in my house. She knows me pretty well and she lets me in to call the police. 911 and I tell him I think someone broke in. Call my husband and tell him. He says he's coming home. Police arrive. They have me wait outside until they check the house. They don't find anything. Find stuff out of place though. The coffee table has been moved. Couch was standing on its end. Kind of like the center of the floor had been cleared. Back door was standing wide open. I had of course closed it when I went out. Not sure if I locked it, but I had my keys in my pocket, so I probably did. Police stayed around the house the rest of the night, driving up and down the street. Husband and I didn't sleep. Dog sniffed every inch of the house. Dog got really weird and growled at nothing a lot. Eventually peed and threw up several times. Wouldn't sleep downstairs in his bed anymore after that. The whole experience was beyond creepy. I don't want to suggest it was necessarily paranormal or unexplainable, but it was very scary and I still feel uneasy in the house alone, day or night. This happened about 4 years ago in the shitty old house my girlfriend and I were renting in upstate New York. Have horrible nightmare one night. Seemed so vivid that something started slamming from inside the old closet door across from our bed, like banging against the door, and this freaky snorting or growling or something erupted from in there. My girlfriend instantly jumps awake in the bed and starts bawling. "No, please, not again. I thought it went away." I jumped up and grabbed my rifle I keep by the side of the bed, but as soon as I did, the door swung open and this thing, I can't even describe it, comes out. It makes me sick just thinking about it. It's not like something from a game or horror movie. It's like something from a psycho's nightmare. It's just so slimy and, ugh. The thought of it makes me feel like I need to puke. The best way I can describe it is like a deformed pig with no eyes. I can only call it a nightmare beast. The thing extends its neck towards me and I feel extreme heat and drop the rifle, and that's the last thing that I remember. Wake up the next morning feeling sick as hell, like I have the flu, and noticed I have a rash like strand burn on my hands and forearm. Rifle is jammed somehow and won't fire. Girlfriend claims that she had an awful nightmare, something to do with the closet, but can't remember any of it. She eventually refuses to go into our bedroom altogether. Move out a few months later. Just thinking about that house freaks me out. F*** that house. I have a vague memory from my childhood that stuck with me. On vacation on small Greek island. Drive with parents in rental car to go sightseeing. Dad gets lost while driving. Drive for literally half an hour before getting onto road that looks like it's eventually ending up in a small secluded neighborhood. Weird. It's all luxury homes, but it's just the frame and walls. No contractors at work. Nothing. Just an unfinished ghost town. Dad kind of freaks out over being lost. Proceed to backtrack. Look out rear window and see a white pickup following us. We find a T intersection and go back to where we came from. Pickup just does a U-turn and goes back to the creepy neighborhood. Can't remember ever talking about it again. Be me. 15. Do basic shit. My school didn't have hallways or anything like that, but it was accessible even when it was closed. There are classrooms and rooms in the accessible parts of it. Always think it'd be awesome if I managed to get in at night. Have gym class. Teacher just gives us some balls and lets us play, so basically it's free time. Walking around and see an open classroom with a janitor inside talking to someone. Look at lock. Key is there. This is my chance. Get the key and walk the fastest I could out of there. This was the beginning of the Egg Master. School finishes and I go home. Look at key. What am I supposed to do with this now? Idea.exe. Go to store with pocket money. Buy eggs. This was the night that changed my whole teenage life. It's 9 p.m. Just finished studying. Key in pocket. Eggs in my backpack. Reach school and jump inside. Hesitate to unlock door. Just open it and go inside. I stood there a little thinking about what I should do. My face went, just put eggs under everyone's desks so when they go get their stuff, the eggs will fall on them. Was my class. Put egg under my desk too to not look suspicious. After doing that, I'm left with 10 or so eggs. Leave a note on the desk as I wanted to make a name. Don't seek me, for I am to return to the sacred lands. Sincerely, the Egg Master. Next day, it's showtime. Class starts. Everyone is about to pull their stuff out. A girl does it first. An egg falls on her and it breaks. What the fuck is this? Whole class laughs. They don't check if they have eggs too. They all get egged, including me. Teacher comes in, sees 23 kids with eggs on them, and notices the note. Everyone is complaining. No one knows what to do. The teacher asks us to calm down. It seems some idiot here thinks he can pull a prank on everyone. She called me an idiot? Well, this meant war. The school was searching for me without really making it that big of a deal. I'm mad. Same day after school, go to grocery store, buy 40 eggs. Couldn't do that in this day and age, my God. Go to school at night, see teacher's chair. They have some pillow stuffed chairs that this bitch, the teacher who called me an idiot, loves to sit on. Get my handy knife, rip a part of it out, get pillows out, start stuffing the chair with eggs. It looks as if there is no change unless she sees the hole on the side that isn't visible. Look at it. Think that this isn't enough revenge. Have 20 eggs or so left. Look at ceiling. Idea. Get tape. Yes, I had all that stuff except the knife in my bag for arts class. Tape eggs on the lamp right on top of the teacher. But how will they fall once she sits? Let's just hope they do. There are only 3 eggs taped together. If they don't fall on her, they will at some point. Just hope no one notices them. It's a pretty high ceiling, so I doubt it. Attach a paper to the eggs, hoping they fall. The Egg Master is many things, but an idiot? Watch your words, madam, as a punishment even worse might come next. Oh good, just identify yourself as someone in that class. Sit there giggling to the idea of it happening, even though it probably won't. Next morning, everything goes fine. Everyone checks their desks. No eggs. Sit down and look at the taped eggs. Oh my God. Just a little more of the tape getting off and they'll fall. Teacher walks in. She greets the class. Yes, 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 yes. She goes to sit. She asks whether there are any egg attacks. We say no and she sits down. Cracking egg sound. Wave. What the hell? Oh my God, it's about to fall. She says that she will find who the Egg Master is. It falls. The eggs break right on her head, her shoulder, and one fell on the floor. The whole class stands in awe. I'm about to cry 'cause of my luck. She sees the note gliding down, grabs it, reads it. She just starts screaming and going nuts at us for this. Whoever you think you are, you're gonna get kicked out of this school and you won't be allowed to go to any other schools. Lol, how would they catch me? I decide to lay low for a week or so. I mean, I don't think an egg attack is needed now. During that time, I hear word about the Egg Lord. My time has come. Think that I need a whole event just for my existence. National celebration thingy comes up. We gotta do a show. Teacher responsible for show comes up to me. Hey Anon, I know you're good with the computers and we'd like a student to help out with the technical part. Bingo! Immediately say yes. Go home to think about what the Egg Master will do to cater to his followers. Google how to fake a hacking. Interesting. Very interesting. Just install a photo of an egg. Record myself talking. My dear followers, as you have noticed, my presence as the Eggmaster is pretty obvious on the school grounds. A month ago, I brought upon the inevitable justice on Miss Annoying Teacher, but this is the last time I'll be a nuisance to most of you. As of today, from a prankster, I'll become a vigilante. Bullying is going on around the school grounds, both from students to other students, and from teachers to students. I cannot accept this behavior, for I, the Eggmaster, will punish those who misbehave. This is my school now. Add a voice changer. Install a program that once I press binder key, screen goes black unless I press another binded key, which I bind it on the mouse so no one will find a way to turn the screen on. Install it on a flash drive. Use my phone as a second display so no one notices me opening stuff. Day comes. Start the educational video. On phone, starting the program. Waiting for people to start going silent. Once it happens, quickly open voice recording and toggle the program. I act as if I don't know what is happening. Video plays. Teachers tell me to stop because they want to listen. Oh my god, they're all silent. Once my voice says, "This is my school now," I break my flash drive while getting it out immediately. Paused educational video. Crowd cheering for the Eggmaster. Feeling the power. Weeks pass. See that there is no need for the Eggmaster. Almost a month after hacks. See a boy holding an egg at the brakes. It's my call. Decide to watch from a distance. He's getting bullied by some chads in my class. Well, Eggmastering time. Go to school at night. Get in class. See their desks. They're filled with random shit. This is gonna be fun. Start smashing eggs in there. Destroying everything. Everything in there destroyed. Put a note. Don't be an asshole next time, or else you'll get egged worse. Sincerely, the Eggmaster. Next day, they see their stuff and go to the principal. He finally makes an announcement that he'll get me. I don't know why it took him so long. I know I'm a suspect since the hacking, but I gotta stay safe. They actually start to wonder how I got in that class. Whoa, I thought they would know? Apparently the janitor made a fake and didn't tell the principal about losing the key. Realization.exe. The janitor can become my ally. He has to if he wants to keep his job. Realize that his son is a student at the school. Another class, though. Can't access it, so instead I try to make contact during the daytime without exposing my identity. Bring an egg with me at school. Write a note. Just give this egg to your dad with the note, "Mr. Janitor, now, you have to help me or else." Put it in kid's bag. The janitor knows or else what? He has to help me. He doesn't want his secret going anywhere, right? Well, I was correct. The very next day, in the same class, there's a message on the board. "Mr. Eggman." The fuck? That's not my name. "I'll gladly help you as I have no choice, but I need orders first." My face when I see it. Class's face when they see it. What is going on in the school? People start making conspiracies. I feel like God. They actually start to wonder how I got in that class. Whoa, I thought they would know? I feel like a god. That very day, I start bringing more eggs with me at school. You never know when you'll need them. Teacher comes in class. Yeah, that annoying bitch. She starts talking about the Eggmaster is in deep trouble and they found him. Excuse me, what? My face when I know that she's bluffing, but still my heart is beating like my dad when I was younger. Start to think of ways to attack. Don't pay any attention in class. Comes up to me during lesson. "Oh, by the way, Anon, the principal wanted to see you." This was the end. Or so I thought. Go to principal's office. Open the door. "Hello, Anon. How good to see you." I'm just sitting there like, "Oh yeah, hello." He starts looking at me in the eyes and asks, "Is there anything you would want to tell me?" "No, sir. Why would you say that?" "Oh, nothing. Just that during the egg hack, you were on the computer, weren't you?" I'm sweating a lot at that point. He probably noticed. Yeah, I was." He then asks me whether I got any idea of who it was or if I helped. Dummy mode kicks in. Speak loud. "I know that it's suspicious, but really, I was just sitting there looking at the screen, not knowing what had happened. Please believe me." I had tears in my eyes. My face when he actually believes me. "Chill down, boy." "I know it's not you, but just wanted to make sure." "What?" "Go. I know it wasn't you." My face when. Go in class and people ask me what happened. Fuck off. Say he just asked me about the hacking. Go home. I'm super mad. Decide that I want to punish him. Go to school at night. See teacher's office. Climb up a window. Break it. No alarm, but still hooded because safety. Start destroying his office. I make it full of eggs. Probably wasted more than 80 eggs just throwing them around. Write note. Stop searching for me. I know you're married and eggs aren't the only weapon I have. Didn't actually know it, just guessing. Next day, announcement. Principal says loudly into the mic that the egg master has now become a thing that the police are investigating. What? He explains as to what happened in his office and how his family was threatened. Says that in an hour, police will come to the school and search every bag of the students. My face went, shit. I've got eggs in there, and they won't let us leave our classes. I don't know what to do. Hear chatter. Hey, I think the egging became too much. Can't stand it. I'll be caught. Almost cry. I will not be defeated just yet. Open my bag and look at eggs. Here goes nothing. Say to teacher that I want to go to the toilet. She allows me, but without the bag. Mwahahaha. Put bag in place. Go to toilet. Look at the venting system. Oh god, I'm gonna die. Jump inside the vents, hoping I get to my class and grab the bag that I put close to the vent. I know this sounds fake, but I don't care if you believe me, because this was the best experience ever. Start crawling. Get stuck. No! Whisper to myself. I will not be defeated. Not like that. Start trying to crawl even more. Pulling and pushing. Nothing worked. Start hearing people from my class, which was right in front of me. Hey, isn't Anon gone for a long time? Maybe he's the egg master. Let's check his bag. No! Move with full power. Glide towards the vent that my bag is close to. Quickly grab it. Get pack of eggs and leave it back. Crawl back to toilet. Flush eggs. My face when I'm full of dirt. I'm not sure what to do. I grab the last egg and have no choice. I have to hide it up my ass. It goes inside me easier than I thought. I have to be careful walking. Probably looks like I gotta take a shit. Quickly walking down the hall, I suddenly start to feel the egg starting to go inside deeper. I try and push, like when I'm taking a shit to move it back. Suddenly, all hell breaks loose in my pants. I have no choice. I pull my pants down in the hall. Start just shooting shit all over the lockers. Janine Rayburn makes eye contact with me the whole time. A few months later, she becomes my girlfriend and pegs me often. As the demons rip themselves out of my ass and the smell hits me. To keep with my Eggman persona, I have eaten nothing but egg salad for a month. It smells like someone is burning sulfur on the street in India. By this time, the whole school is gathered around me, watching me shit all over the hall. I'm screaming in pain on all fours, and I can feel the splashes come back from the lockers. Finally, I think it's done. I relax for a moment, and then it happens. The egg gently drops out of my asshole. I don't know what to do, I say. Eggman, what did I do to deserve this? Everyone gets scared and thinks the Eggman has evolved into some sort of demigod. School forces all stores within 100 miles of school to no longer carry eggs. Oh my god. They don't want the Eggman's power to escalate. Yeah, sure. Walking class, everyone sees me with dirt on my clothes. What happened to you, Anon? It's a long story, dude. Police come, check our bags. They say they found the culprit. What? What the fuck? Who is it? The guy who was talking to the janitor while I stole the key took credit. He gets detention and was never seen again. A week later, CCTV is installed in our school. Fuck, what do I do now? Can't let the Eggmaster persona disappear. Decide that a mask is needed. Create an egg mask, a mask that lets me see, a mask that shows who the real master is. Go to school wearing egg mask. Look at CCTV, throw an egg at it. Get in class, throw eggs all around the class. Leave a message on board. You have the wrong man. I don't like fakes, so if you're seeing this, you'll have fun next month. They all see the video. They show it to every class. A guy wearing an egg mask throwing eggs around. The people say they want me to show myself. I think that it'll get me in trouble, but whatever. Before school starts, go there 4 hours early. Lots of eggs. Spent like $50 on eggs. Lock up the school. Sit there in the middle of the field. Open the speakers. It's 8 a.m. People come. They see me. I see them. Get on the mic. If you support the egg campaign, then jump in. Get an egg and break it on your head. My face when at least 100 people jump in and break eggs on their heads. I am a god. The school is now Eggland. This is my story. We will soon take over Europe, and then proceed with Murica. Egg. Well, I can't believe I actually just read that entire thing. I thought it was like a creepy story or something. I've never read that one before. I just knew that it was Eggmaster. Well, thanks for listening to that one. If you're even still here and didn't click off the video, really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoyed this longer video of delicious, sexy 4chan stories. So, see ya. I'm at the brink of... He doesn't know what I'm talking about. Whoa. It makes me sick just thinking about it. It's at that moment I just stop. The fatigue just immediately hits me like a wave. Okay, I'm kind of hungry as shit, so I'm just gonna leave this recording and go make some waffles.